Hey there YouTube, this is Chris from Team Shockwave, and I'm here bringing you the updated Buster Blader deck profile. Pretty much I was trying to get this uploaded when the Blue Eye support came out. Kind of things fell through, stuff happened, don't worry about it. But then I decided to just wait until the new Dark Illusion was a little bit closer because we're getting a new trap card that makes the deck a little bit better. So I decided to just wait till then and give you guys a new update now. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, so first thing up on the deck list is Buster Blader, 2 of the regular ones and 1 of the Destruction Sword. Just because it's Destruction Sword, it's a Buster Blader when it's in the graveyard in the hand, graveyard in the field, and he has an effect to destroy cards. But solid, I might bump it up to 2 because this trap card is ridiculous. 3 whelps. It's the Stratos. When it's normal summon, it adds a Destruction Sword card. So it could be the monster, the spell card, the new trap card, the old trap card, the new old trap card, all of them. And adds it to your hand. Plus, he can tribute himself to special summon a Buster Blader from the hand or graveyard. And then, if you have a Buster Blader, you can discard a Destruction Sword card to special summon from the graveyard. It's a level 1 tuner, and it's light. So it's pretty good with some of the Blue Eye support. 2 of the Destruction Sword pretty much is just a level 1 tuner that equips to a Buster Blader and unequips. So kind of like a Dragoonier monster. It's a tuner, and then when it's equipped to a Buster Blader, it stops your opponent from going into the extra deck to special summon. So it's really good against certain decks. It's just pretty solid. But other than the fact that it's a level 1 dragon Destruction Sword, you can search for Whelp and discard for the new trap card or the spell card. And then 2 maidens, when she's targeted by an effect, she special summons a Blue Eyes from the hand, deck, or graveyard. When she's attacked, negate the attack and special summon a Blue Eyes from the hand, deck, or graveyard. When I first heard of this card, it was ridiculous. It's still ridiculous now, but it has really good combos with the field card, and it's just a level 1 light tuner also, so you can search it with Eyes of Blue, the stage. You can 1-for-1 it, you can Where Art Thou, play the field card, blah blah blah. 3 sages, another Stratos. When it's normal summon, you add a level 1 light tuner from the deck to your hand. So you pretty much grab the Veiler if you need protection, the Maiden if you need combos, or the Whelp to normal summon when you have the field card out. And then his hand effect is you can target a face-up card on the field, send it to the graveyard, special summon a Eyes of Blue monster from the deck, or Blue Eyes monster from the deck. So it doesn't necessarily have to be Blue Eyes, it could be the spirit. 1 master with Eyes of Blue. I just threw him in because his effect is situational. When it's normal summon, you add a level 1 light monster from the graveyard, add it to your hand. And then when he's in the graveyard, you can target a face-up monster and himself. Well, target a face-up monster, send him to the deck, send the monster you targeted to the graveyard, and reborn a Blue Eyes from the graveyard. Also level 1 tuner. And then for the Blue Eyes, it's just double regular Blue Eyes, 3000 attack, and 1 spirit. Spirit, it doesn't count as a Blue Eyes white dragon, but it counts as a Blue Eyes monster. So you can special summon it with Sage. When he's normal or special, you pretty much bounce a card, a spell or trap card, you banish it. And then you can tribute this card to special summon a Blue Eyes white dragon from your hand. And it's a normal type when it's in the graveyard and the field. Or, sorry, hand and graveyard. And then just double effect Veiler. Level 1 light tuner, and you can search for search with it with the Sage's effect. And that's pretty much it for all my monsters. For my spells is 2 Emblem of the Dragon Destroyer. Sometimes if you don't have a way to send this to the graveyard, just adding it to your hand and using Whelp's effect, especially summon, is always good. And yeah, so it's just a Rhoda. 2 of the Super Poly. I might bump it up to 3 if Dark Magician is really a thing, or if it gets popular. It pretty much uses a Buster Blader and either a dragon monster from either side of the field to go into the fusion monster. When it's in the graveyard, you can discard a card to add it to your hand, and you can only use that effect once per turn. So lets you combo from the graveyard. You discard any card, add this to your hand, and then you could activate other Destruction Sword's effects with this one, since it counts as a Destruction Sword. And then this is the card I really just wanted to play when I first built the deck, which is the Mausoleum of White. Did I say that right? Yeah. So pretty much when you activate it, you can activate it, get an additional normal summon if you special summon or normal summon a light tuner. And so you get 2 summons. You bring out the Sage, search for the Whelp, bring out the Whelp. And then this other effect that works really well with Maiden is you target a card, target Maiden, and then send a normal monster from your deck to the graveyard, and that monster gains attack equal to the number of stars. So you target Maiden, you know, give her an 800 attack boost, and then special summon a Blue Eyes since she was targeted. 2 terraformings to search out the Mausoleum. Where art thou? Sometimes you just need to search the other light monster. So if you have the field, you normal summon, grab something, or normal summon, and then where art thou, search for a missing component for the combo. 2 Twin Twisters just for the back row hate. It lets you discard Buster Blader and Destruction Sword cards so you combo with. 1 for 1 because you have a lot of level 1s that you want on the board, and a Foolish Barrow just in case. Again, you need something in the graveyard that you couldn't discard with the Twin Twisters. So for the trap lineup is 3 of Reflecting upon the Destruction Sword. New trap cards coming out in Dark Illusion. Pretty much I think it's really good, especially because it's made for this deck. I was going to say especially because of the deck. Anyway, so what it does is you can discard a Destruction Sword when it's on the field and you activate it. Discard Destruction Sword, special summon a Buster Blader from your deck. That solved your problem of not having your Buster Blader. When it's in the graveyard, you can banish this and every other material so like a Dragon type and a Blue Eyes. A Dragon type and a Buster Blader to special summon the fusion from the extra deck. So it's a Miracle Fusion in the graveyard. And it doesn't say once per turn or you can only use once effect or none of that. So you can special summon Buster Blader, Synchro, do your fancy things with it, and then when it's in the graveyard, remove it and bring out another one. Or bring out the fusion. So really silly card. I really like it. Yeah, and I'm going to keep playing this. Hopefully, can't wait for it to actually come out in English so I can play it better. And then one of the Destruction Sword Flash. Old card, but not by old, I mean it came out like one of the first cards. When you control a fusion, it lets you banish all of your opponent's monsters. So if you control a fucking, what's the name? It's such a long name. Buster Blader, the Destruction Swordsman. You banish all of your opponent's monsters. Face up, face down, it doesn't matter. And then when it's in the graveyard, you can remove it from the graveyard to protect your Buster Blader from being targeted. So I only play it as a one-off because it's really situational. And then for my last 2 cards are 2 Quaking not the last 2, I'm sorry. For my last set of cards. Quaking because this card can't attack directly, but it does piercing. So if your opponent does try to be, cute, put them face down and then attack over it. I could use a regular Mirror Force just to protect myself, but essentially this does the same thing and better. And then my last card is just a Solemn Strikes, just for the protection, just to blow up my opponent's monster when they activate effect or special summon. And I think that's it for the deck. Let's go into the extra deck. So I'm running 2 of the fusions. Normally you would want to run 1 just to have it, but now that card can actually Miracle Fusion from the graveyard, you want to have more options. So 2, if your opponent controls any dragons, switch them to defense mode. If they control any dragons, negate their effects. It just counters dragon, especially the Blue Eyes. That's apparently getting 2nd win, 3rd win. I don't know how many times they're going to keep coming back, but if you want to really destroy them, this card will do it. But yeah, 2 of these. I'm playing 1 Dark Paladin because Dark Magician is also getting a little kick in the butt. And you can bring this out really easy with the fusion, the sword fusion, and negate spells by discarding cards. It's also really good. 2 of the Buster Dragon. If you don't control a Buster Blader, you can special summon 1 from the graveyard. Once per turn, or your opponent's turn, you can equip a Dragon Whelp or a Destruction Sword card from the graveyard to your Buster Blader. And then he makes all of your opponent's monsters dragons. So he activates your Destruction Buster Blader. And then he's a Dark Dragon, and I have another card here that actually helps that out too. So for Blue Eyes, I actually do have the Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Yeah, so Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon kind of stops your opponent, not stops, but controls your opponent from letting him go all rampant. And then with his effect, is kind of, I like it and I don't like it, but he kills himself during either player's turn, and then special summons a light dragon from your extra deck. So it's pretty good. But for his effect, I run the Ancient Fairy Dragon, the Azure, I don't know, Spark Dragon, the Moonlight, and Michael. So depending on where you're at in the game, if you're in trouble with certain things, or you just need an out, these are the 5 cards you want to use. Or not want to use, but you could use. And they're all fairly good. I run a Crimson Blader because it's a level 8 that controls your opponent. You don't want them to actually keep either special summon something bigger than you, especially with Blue Eyes and Dark Magician coming out. You can actually stop them with this, as you can see in our fight. And Stardust Dragon, I've always liked this card. Just negates destruction or destroy effect, so good. And then my other 2 cards are just Red Eyes for control. Sorry, Red Eyes Fiend. I wish it was Red Eyes. But pretty much this card lets you blow up any special summon monster that's lower than him. And this card is pretty much just ridiculous. It lets you stop a card on the field, negates its effect, and then special summons a level 1 tuner. So you could go into other synchros with the deck. But other than that, just defensively, it's amazing. The other thing is that to bring it out, you need a Dark Dragon type. You can use the Scarlight and a tuner, or you can use the Buster Dragon, which is also a dark and any tuner. So you can activate Buster Dragon, equip Buster Blader, unequip Buster Blader, and then just synchro into this and have the Buster Blader, Destruction Swordsman. Jesus, it's so hard to say his name. And this card out, which is a powerful combo. And that's pretty much it for my extra deck. So that's pretty much the deck profile. As you can see, the trap card is going to help. The trap card is definitely going to help you bring out like the Buster Blader, have it on board, have that presence. And then in the graveyard, it's like a Miracle Fusion, so it really helps out bring out the fusion. The other thing is, because Blue Eyes is getting such a huge support after the movie, you might want to consider playing some Buster Blader, slay some dragons, eh? And if it turns out well, then it might be even, meta. Who knows? Doubt it. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the deck profile. Hope you like it. But without further ado, this is Chris from Team Shockwave signing out.